Alphabet or Google has been in the news lately. Yes, it actually announced its result as well in July, the end of July, and at the same time recently actually they announced a revolutionary expanded partnership with NVIDIA. And that actually created a lot of buzz around the market. NVIDIA went up 4% that day and Google was moving as well. Hello everybody, and once again welcome to Synanomics, the money machine. By now you have understood I'm going to talk about Alphabet or Google, and I'll focus pretty much on a few things. First, I will start with their Q2 2023 earnings report, which they actually announced in July, and then I'll talk about the buzz of the town, the talk of the town, and that is the expanded partnership of Google, especially the Google Cloud with NVIDIA. And now they are actually leveraging the latest chip H100 of NVIDIA for all their Google Cloud offerings. So I'll talk a big chunk of my discussion today on that expanded partnership. And at the end, we'll talk a little bit about the valuation, what's the target and what should be the right valuation for the company, and we'll discuss a little bit whether it's undervalued or overvalued. Well, Google announced its Q2 23 earnings report result in July, and surprisingly, actually it has exceeded the market expectation. So let's look at that first. If you look at the earning per share, it actually reported $1.44 as compared to $1.34 market expectation, and that was 18% growth year over year. When we talk about the revenue, for an example, it actually reported $74.6 billion revenue. Again, that was a beat from the market expectation, and that was $72.7 billion. From the year over year comparison perspective, it was 7% growth year over year. Though it's a little bit lower than what it had grew last year, but still it's growing 7%, which is perfectly fine in today's economic environment. The net profit was $21.84 billion, and that was 12% growth year over year, guys. And if I look at the free cash flow, that was pretty much $22 billion, and that was a whopping 73% growth year over year. Last but not the least, when we talk about the cash and the cash equivalent in the books, they have pretty much $26 billion cash in the books as compared to $18 billion last year. So from all the perspective, from the P&L perspective, from the balance sheet perspective, it actually has given a robust result, I would call that. And let's talk a little bit about the Google Cloud. That's the topic of today's discussion today, right? So Google Cloud's revenue was pretty much $8.03 or roughly $8 billion, and that was much higher than last year's $6.2 billion. So roughly 29 to 30% growth year over year. So Google Cloud has really grown. And when we look at the profitability or the operating income of Google Cloud business, last year it was $590 million loss. Yes, you heard that right. Last year it had reported $590 million loss, but this year it has actually reported $395 million profit. It's a positive operating income. So there has been a turnaround in the Google Cloud space for Alphabet. And what does that mean? That means that Google Cloud is contributing not only on the top line, as I talked about it, $8 billion out of its $74.6 billion total revenue. So it's contributing in the top line as well as in the bottom line as well. And the most important thing is that it has moved into the profitability, guys. And when we talk about the Google Cloud, basically there are three key focus areas where they operate in. And that's what they offer today. One is the Duet AI, and predominantly it's focused on the artificial intelligence, generative AI, and machine learning. So let's look at that, the three key areas that Google Cloud operates in and offers its services to the customers. Number one is the Duet AI, as I mentioned earlier. It's pretty much for the workspace. Vertex AI is for the cloud computing, data analytics, and machine learning. And last but not the least, AI optimized infrastructure. And we'll talk about that in details a little bit later. But let me also tell you that Google has announced that it's going to charge $30 per month for enterprise customers for its AI services. Yes, you heard that right. They're going to charge it $30 per month for the enterprise customers for the AI services, and that's exactly similar to what Microsoft has been charging for its 365 Copilot technology. That's their AI technology. Now, when we look at overall NVIDIA and Alphabet partnership, let's little bit think about or paraphrase, refresh your memory about the era we are in today. Guys, this is the fourth industrial revolution of artificial intelligence. So we are now amidst one of the most profound technology shifts in the history. Generative AI is the type of artificial intelligence that can create new contents, be it text, image, codes, speech, or audio, by learning the patterns of the existing data as well as learning new data similar to the characteristics that's being provided. And some of you, if you have not looked at the ChatGPT, that's the easier, the most widely available tool for us, right? If you have not looked at that, I would strongly recommend just go and play with it. If you want to write something, want to write a story, just give some hints that this is the story, this give some outline, and just ChatGPT will write the story for you. If you want to write your resume, you give your key highlights, your qualification, your experience, etc., and it will actually give you the whole resume. If you want to write a personal statement, for an example, you can do the same thing. The more dot points you give, more accurate it will actually deliver. So this whole thing is getting revolutionized. So as Gen AI evolves, guys, so do the infrastructure requirements. We all know that. And all these companies are pretty much in that space, in that race which I called AI gold rush. So Google's ultra-scale, highly reliable AI supercomputing system combines the TPU and the GPU accelerators, the high-performance AI requirements. And that's where they are actually working very closely with NVIDIA to get the right foundation. Well, when we talk about the AI optimized infrastructure of Google, that includes again the ultra scale, highly reliable AI supercomputer system. And as I mentioned, I'll repeat that again, which combines the TPU and the GPU accelerators, high performance AI, optimized storage, scalable networking, offloads, and water cooling. Google announced general availability of A3 virtual machines based on the NVIDIA's latest H100 accelerated GPUs. Yes, you heard that right. Google recently announced general availability of A3 virtual machines based on NVIDIA's latest H100 accelerated GPUs. And A3 virtual machines actually now offer 3 times more faster training. Yes, 3x faster training, 10x network bandwidth than the old A2. virtual machine. And that, what does it mean? It means that it's pretty much ideal for incredible demanding AI workloads. I'll repeat that, guys. A3 virtual machine actually offers 3x faster training and 10x network bandwidth, which is pretty much ideal for the incredible demanding AI workloads. And all these are happening pretty much based on NVIDIA's latest H100 accelerated GPUs. A3 virtual machines actually offers the customers the breakthrough level of performance per dollar. That's what is claimed by Google. It offers at a very higher level of reliability and scale as well. So, breakthrough level of performance per dollar at the highest level of reliability and scale. What else you want? And that's why Google claims that more than 70% of the generative AI unicorns are Google Cloud customers. Yes, you heard that right. More than 70% of the generative AI unicorns are Google Cloud customers. Google also announced expanded partnership, as I talked earlier as well. They announced the expanded partnership with NVIDIA for integrating serverless Spark with NVIDIA accelerator libraries and the NVIDIA GPUs for data science workloads. And we'll talk a little bit more details about that. What are the partnership of Google and NVIDIA? So we all know that generative AI is revolutionizing every layer of the computing stack, starting from the chip H100 for training and data processing to all the way to model serving with L4. And guys, according to Jensen Huang, who is the CEO of NVIDIA, this is re-engineering of the entire stack, from the processor to the system to the networks and all of the software. And all of this is to accelerate the GCP, Google Cloud, Vertex AI, and to create the software and the infrastructure for the researchers as well as for the developers. And that's the first part of it. Secondly, NVIDIA is going to put NVIDIA DGX Cloud in the GCP, the Google Cloud. For some of you, if you don't know, their DGX Cloud is NVIDIA's supercomputer. And that's where NVIDIA actually does all their research. They optimize their incredible software stack, and all these work is instantly going to benefit GCP, Google Cloud, and both the team is actually collaborating in that space. Yes, so now Google Cloud will be pretty much powered by DGX Cloud, which is the supercomputer of NVIDIA. Thirdly, they also talked about they're going to work on a lot of efforts to accelerate the Vertex AI, the AI model, and the AI software. The two teams are working together. The two leaders actually talked about in one of the recent announcements that the foundational platform Vertex AI actually provides the foundation for whoever consumes the generative AI large language models. It's been integrated and running on NVIDIA's latest H100 GPU chip, as I mentioned earlier, and it will be generally available in the coming weeks, and that was announced by Google. Many of the Google's own models are heavily reliant on NVIDIA, and that actually is the crux of this partnership. So the foundation of Google Cloud is actually NVIDIA chip, be it H100, DGX Cloud, whatever it is. Today, Google uses NVIDIA's GPUs to build the next gen generative AI and serves the customers and the users. We'll little bit talk about that as well. So generative AI is actually doing the frontier work in the areas of the large language models. We know that. And that's a breakthrough, cutting edge computer science. This is not the computing the old fashioned way. Guys, this is the whole new way of doing computing. And the work NVIDIA and the Google they have done for creating the framework allows to push the frontiers of the large language models distributed across the giant infrastructure, so that at the same time all the researchers and the users actually can scale up to a gigantic next gen artificial intelligence model, save time and energy, and all of these require the cutting edge computer science. NVIDIA also announced with Google the PaxML, a large language model frame built on top of the ZAX, built on top of the OpenXLA. Well, I won't go into much details and more technical in that. We just need to understand what exactly is their partnership. But let me also tell that the second thing they have been doing is to build the next generation processor and the next generation artificial intelligence infrastructure. Google and NVIDIA is working in one of the first instances of the next generation artificial intelligence supercomputer called DGX GH200, based on the revolutionary new chip called Grace Hopper. Actually, if you remember, Jensen Huang actually had showcased this Grace Hopper recently, and the one that they are working together on this supercomputer is pretty much based in the new generation DGX GH200 chip, based on the revolutionary new chip called the Grace Hopper. So a lot of new development that's happening, guys, in this space. And what does it show for investors like us, investor like you? It shows that the pace of the artificial intelligence generative AI is kind of increasing, is broadening, and many of these hyperscalers are actually adopting it. Let me also tell you that Google is a natural evolution of the AI market, and that's what Google claims. They have been revolutionizing the whole search engine, etc. And as artificial intelligence evolves, the need for the new architecture, new hardware architecture, and the software stack is evolving as well, from the training to inferencing to the new capabilities like embeddings. Google wants to offer its customers the broadest choice of accelerators. And as of today, they are already offering 13 different types of accelerators in Google Cloud. Google is a platform company at the hard effect, and they want to track all those developers and the customers who love NVIDIA GPU technology and NVIDIA's software stack. So pretty much looks like this marriage or this partnership is going to be a long-term partnership, and that's why the market liked it. NVIDIA stock actually rocketed 4% after this was announced a few days back. Let me talk a little bit about the Google's offerings. So Google Clouds actually offers the Vertex AI. That is to help the developers build the apps using generative AI models, and the new service like enterprise search and conversations. Developers can use Vertex AI to discover, train, tune, test, evaluate, control, and deploy artificial intelligence models, AI models, through the Vertex. And they have major upgrades. In fact, they have also announced the major upgrades lately. And let me tell you a few of them. So the new version of the text model, that's called PaLM 2, actually increased the input token length by 4 times, making it easier to process long documents like research papers and even the legal briefs. Secondly, the new version of the text to code tool called Cody actually now delivers 25% more quality. So there has been a quality improvement, 25% more. That's what Google is claiming now for Cody in the code generation and the code chats. So from the text PaLM 2 to the text to code Cody, and then from text to image model. So their third one is text to image model. They call it Imagine, IMAGIN, and that significantly improves the quality of the image. Last but not the least, guys, Google is also offering some of the industry specific large language models. Just to name a few is the SecPaLM for cybersecurity, and they have also introduced MedPaLM for healthcare. Well, so pretty exciting developments happening in that space, guys. And now let's move to the third part of the discussion today. What does it mean for us? I talked about the result where Alphabet or Google has beaten the market expectations big time. Even from the cash and cash flow perspective, they are pretty much at 73%. Their Google Cloud has moved from loss to profit and now contributing big time in the top line as well as in the bottom line. When we look at the valuation, let's look at the valuation perspective, because that's very important for investors like me and you. So if you look at FY24 EPS forecast, it actually ranges between $5.52 lowest to $7.45 highest by multiple analysts. Roughly 45 analysts have been tracking this company. I think more than that, but 45 are the main ones, I would call it. So again, from the FY24 earning per share varies from $5.52 to $7.45. If I take the average of that, it comes at $6.66. And with the forward earning perspective, guys, right now it's actually trading. Google or Alphabet is trading at 20 times multiple. So the price earning ratio is 20x. It's not as cheap as it was 1 year back when it was trading at 15x. But guys, if you look at the peers, it's still very cheap in my opinion. And let me throw you some numbers. Apple on the forward earning is trading at 29x. Microsoft is trading at 30x. NVIDIA, of course, is the leader, and on the forward earning 2025 and all is trading at 31 and all those. But hey, let's not worry about NVIDIA right now, because there is a huge premium given to that. But if you compare with all these, with Apple, with Microsoft, at 20 price earning ratio, Alphabet or Google sounds cheap to me. And when we look at with a 20x forward earning, and then you extrapolate that, you get the price target pretty much at $225. Last Friday it has actually closed at $135.60, roughly $136. And in the last 1 year, or even if you took from this year 2023, it has pretty much gained 50% or more. In the last 6 months itself, it has gained some 60%. market price. So it's not as good as NVIDIA, which has actually crossed almost 200%, which has increased 200% this year, but still like 50-60% growth in 7 months' time is not bad. And now we are talking about from 136 to 225. That's a huge jump, guys. Even if you go with a conservative outlook, I mean, the 12-month target is something around 200. So if you have not got Google or Alphabet in your portfolio, maybe it's time to think about it. There is a pretty much, it's at the time of inflection, as I talked about it, and their generative models, generative AI, large language models are pretty much tailored to the customer's needs. Having said that, these are my personal opinion. Don't forget to consult your financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Remember, Cyranomics is out there to create financial awareness, give you all these tips and tricks so that you can analyze your own companies, make informed decisions, and make money. With that, if you like this kind of contents, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll come back again with similar interesting analysis of some of these companies for you. Till then, it's a goodbye from your finance coach, Pankaj Sinha. Bye-bye.